Must. Cool. We got this recording. Of course, guys, you already know the recap will be on Discord and on YouTube momentarily. But let's get this party started, guys. Today, what we're going to be talking about are three key factors over here to really growing your credit repair or funding business, guys. All right. And I talk about these three factors all the freaking time because it's absolutely vital to growing your business, guys. And by the way, for those who are hopping on the recording right now, if you guys want to get locked in on the Project Alpha, go to theprojectalpha.com. If you're a credit repair funding business owner, you want the sales system or want to run some ads, go to creditrepairmarketing.com. You already know I got your back. But nonetheless, guys, let's get this party started, guys. Let's start providing some value over here so you can make some more money because the more money I make you, the more I end up getting paid. That's just how it works. So with that being said, guys, let's get this party started. What I want to first go over here, guys, is content. Content is king. Gary Vee said it right, guys. Content is king. So in order to really be able to demand more money from people, in order for people to really start trusting you and just fork over a buttload of cash, you really have to have enough of a brand to be an authoritative figure. I feel like that kind of just goes without saying. But with that being said, a lot of people, when I do these consults with people, the personal consults with people, I always go to the IG first. I literally go to their IG first because their IG is a digital representation of that business. Their IG, their Facebook, their YouTube, their TikTok, wherever they're running their social media from, that's a digital representation of how their business is doing, how it's performing, and how serious they're taking their business. So with that being said, like think about it yourself. Who would you rather buy from? Would you rather buy from somebody that has 10,000 followers and has enough social media posts to fill up the feed to really build trust and authority? Or are you going to buy from somebody that barely has any posts, that barely has any followers, barely any likes, and barely is active on their Instagram? You know, the average credit repair deal is around $1,000. The average funding deal is around $5,000 to $10,000 if you get them 50 to 100K in funding. With that being said, we're not talking about low digits here. We're talking about some serious revenue, some serious money over here that people are going to be forking over to you. So in order for people to pay you $1,000, they really need to be able to trust you. And there's no better way to get people to trust you than I'm about to teach over here, guys, in terms of content distribution. All right, guys? So we're gonna get this party started over here. I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show you exactly what I do with my clients, what I do with my students, and what I do with myself in my business because I do practice what I preach, guys. You know, content is absolutely freaking king. So you need to make sure that you have all these things set up. So with that being said, guys, let's go straight over to my Instagram. And let me show you a little bit about what I do in terms of my Instagram and in terms of my content over here as well, too. You know, because that'll give you a good premise of how you should really handle this. You know, because overall, when you're in terms of content distribution and in terms, let me share my screen over here. If you guys are coming on from anywhere else, guys, make sure you hop on the actual Zoom link so you can see what I am talking about live right over here. So let's go over here to my Instagram. Let's go over to the ad poppy Instagram, because that's the one I'm really running ads from. And you can see over here, I'm live, guys. We live. Right off the bat, guys, as you can see, you know, I'm actually active on my Instagram, active on here and on my personal Instagram as well, too, guys. I'm posting all the freaking time. Look, we just went to the water park the other day, guys. And another thing to note, if you take a look at my Instagram, you know, I don't have the most amount of likes. You know, I don't have the most amount of likes. If I go over to the ad poppy Instagram over here, not an incredible amount of likes. If I go over to my YouTube channel over here, not an incredible amount of YouTube subscribers. You know, but what I'm trying to say is that you don't need a shit ton of followers for you to be making some good freaking money. I'm right now, guys, I'll keep it straight with you guys. I'm making over 300K a year. I have a couple of nice cars. I just moved over to Jacksonville, Florida. Got a nice house that's completely paid for. What I'm trying to say is I'm living a pretty good life, and I'm only 26 years old. By the way, those numbers are going to double very, very soon. What I'm trying to say is that I'm living a pretty fulfilled life. I can buy whatever the F I want. And guys, I don't have more than 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And my average post on Instagram does like 50 to 100 likes. It's not that much. But what's really important is the people that I'm actually targeting. We use specific keywords in the link. Guys, the Zoom link is on. I got you. The Zoom link is on the Discord. So if you're not on the Discord, you might not have it, but let me put it in the comment section over here on Instagram so you have it, so you know exactly what I am talking about. I just dropped that Zoom link on IG Live, all right? What I'm saying is that, guys, you can see over here, I don't have more than 1,800 subscribers on my YouTube. You think about like Mr. Beast. Think about all those big players over here. All those guys have millions of subscribers in order to make millions of dollars. What I'm trying to say is that you don't need to have millions of subscribers to make millions of dollars. The last time I was doing a live over here, I was talking about something in terms of educational content versus entertaining content. And the consensus that we came to was the fact that education-based content will pay you more money than any other type of content that's out there. If you to just rank educational versus entertaining type of content, educational pays you out way more every single freaking time. Yeah, entertaining gets you those followers. Yeah, entertaining gets you those views and those subscribers, etc. Gets you that reach. But overall, entertaining people are just watching stuff to be entertained. Educational type of content, they watch it because they want to solve an actual solution. And when you're able to solve that solution in terms of the lives that I'm doing right here, right now, or just the content that you do, people are immediately going to be able to trust you a lot more and be willing to pay you a lot more dinero. And that's what we're here for, guys. So let me kind of give you an example over here to just solidify my point, and then we'll go serious in terms of the content distribution and how you should really handle that. But guys, look at this. We were literally talking about this last week over here. I just want to go over this again because this is so fucking vital over here, guys. Educational versus entertaining. Let me give you a couple references over here. Entertaining is like Mr. Beast. Education is like Alex Hormozy. They both probably make around the same amount of money. Mr. Beast and Alex Hormozy, they probably both make billions of dollars. I'm not gonna lie. But in terms of entertaining, Mr. Beast needs to put out a whole lot more out in terms of resources to be able to actually make the same amount of money as somebody like Alex Hormozy or Andrew Tate or Jeff Rogan, whatever. It's a totally different ball game over here. So what would you rather do? Would you rather get paid off of the words you speak? I mean, ultimately, it depends upon your goal. Would you rather get paid based upon the words that you're speaking, or would you rather get paid based upon entertaining somebody had to put out a lot of content, hire actors, a lot of resources to be able to do so? They both pay you. It's just two different type of things. Right over here, guys, we have a couple of viewers on here. We got a couple new subscribers because I do these lives. What I'm trying to say is because I'm able to provide value off of here, guys, you don't see any fancy editing here. You don't see any fancy studio over here. I'm just talking right off the cuff over here, trying to provide value and help you guys make more money. And because of it, because I'm able to be confident enough to hop in front of a camera like this and actually provide value and solve people's problems in terms of helping you acquire more clients, you guys know to trust me a lot more. The subscribers that I bring in, the comments that I bring in, the people that I bring over to the Discord, I'm going to be able to sell you a lot better because you guys trust me up front because I'm able to be right up front and show you everything that I'm actually doing, providing actual value over here. So if that makes sense, you guys. Of course, if I'm ever geeking out and I'm going too fast, if you have any questions in terms of anything I'm talking about, guys, just reach out to me, answer anywhere over here. I'm kind of watching it. Just bear with me because I got a couple of lives going on over here. All right, let's talk here, guys. Let's go. So like I was saying, guys, I don't have a lot of subscribers, but what really gets me paid the most out of here is look at my content over here. My content is so highly SEO optimized, so highly targeted over here that's only attracting a specific type of person. If you look at my content over here that I'm doing, every video that I put out is like how to run Facebook ads for credit card business owners, how to get more leads with your Facebook ads in your credit card business, how to get more scheduled calls, how to increase your show up rates, how to get more leads, how to bring more revenue, how to bring in more customers, just a whole bunch of different ways of saying how to run a Facebook ads for your credit card business. And I do the same exact thing for funding as well too, because I found my specific niche. I've been doing this for around 6 or 7 years. Okay. So if you look at my videos, I have over 800 fucking videos on here, guys. But the videos that I put out here, guys, are so highly SEO targeted. And look at my views over here, guys. My average view might get up to like around 100 views. Yeah, this has also is every now and then you get a couple of other ones that do go a little bit somewhat viral. Not viral in terms of Mr. Beast viral, but in terms of me for this specific niche. But what I am saying is that because the content that I put out is so highly targeted to what people with that buying mindset that actually want to run ads for their credit card business, that when they click on that immediately, if you look up on YouTube right now, Facebook ads or credit card business, actually, let's do that right now. Let me just prove my point. Let me go to YouTube. It's not go to my video over here. I'm acting crazy. Facebook ads for credit repair. Let's look at something as simple as that. Let's see what pops up. Oh my gosh, who would have thought? I popped up. You got someone else over here. That's a sponsored post. Doesn't really count. He's just paying more money than me. Me over here. Look at that crazy face over there. Who else we got here? Boom, boom, boom. I'm over here again. Facebook ads or credit pair. I already popped up twice. I already popped up twice. Scroll down a little bit more. That's all I can really get here. Right. More people watched. Boom, boom, boom. Can we get another one of me? Oh, another one of me. 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 You see what I'm saying? So if somebody wants to run Facebook ads for their credit repair business, because I already been running for the past 6 years videos about the offer specifically on how to run Facebook ads for credit repair businesses, I'm almost an industry leader in that specific topic. And ultimately, what that allows me to do is it does the marketing for me. I don't have to spend a lot of money in terms of Google/YouTube ads to be able to get ranked on the very top when somebody searches up Facebook ads, or at least a service that resonates with me. My service is running Facebook ads for credit bureau and funding businesses. If somebody's trying to get into that game, if somebody's trying to run Facebook ads, they're probably going to watch a 101 how-to video on YouTube on how to run Facebook ads properly so it's actually making the money. So if they were to watch a YouTube video, if they were to just search a Google search YouTube video on how to run Facebook ads for kind of a business, I'm going to pop up. And if they even scrolling down that page, you already saw more than 5 of those videos, even though they don't have a lot of fuck ton of views, I'm still popping up. It's because I'm already solidified as the industry leader on terms of YouTube and credit repair Facebook ads. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're putting content out there, you really need to find your specific niche that absolutely just prints you money and just keep doing more of that. Marketing is really, really easy, guys. People ask me, well, Blake, what's the difference between sales and marketing? Sales is just, hey, one sale at a time. Marketing is just multiple sales at a time. That's really what marketing is. And overall, marketing really is just resource allocation in terms of what is doing better for you, and then just do more of what is doing better. In terms of marketing, everything fucking works. Guys, you can take a bunch of business cards and start throwing them everywhere. And then you can, within the next couple of months, couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of years, someone's going to see that business card eventually and maybe call you up or something. Marketing could be writing your name on a fucking curb and people seeing it. Marketing can be just printing out your name on your shirt and people seeing it. What marketing really is, and where I get paid the big bucks relatively, is where people can allocate their resources to get the best return on investment. That's where I really make the most money in. So what I'm trying to say is that if you guys are just getting into content distribution, first, obviously know that your first video is not going to be perfect. That's what holds back a lot of people. But the second thing that you really need to know is that you got to just put out a fuck ton of videos out there, see what really resonates, get specific with it, get really, really specific with it. And then based upon what you see that's actually working in terms of, hey, this gave me more comments, this gave me more views, this gave me more likes, this got me more rings on my phone, more scheduled appointments, just do more of that. And then eventually, after putting up 800 fucking videos, you're going to become an industry leader, kind of like myself. So when anybody searches up Facebook ads or credit pair, you're going to pop up. Now, guys, content distribution it's not an instantaneous gain. As you can see, if I scroll to the very top over here, this guy over here, he's just spending more money than me. This ranks higher than my video because he's spending more money. The difference between content distribution and the difference between running ads is that when you run ads, you can spend money and instantly get results. Content distribution, you put the video out there, it might get 10, 100,000 views today. It might take a week to get 1,000 views and they really get into the audience. So the difference is that content distribution is more so a long game and lasts out there forever. Like you put a video out there, it's an asset that will acquire new clients literally forever. Whereas ads only last as long as your marketing budget can last. What should your target cost per lead be in the funding space? I love this question. Great question. Now, are you talking about leads or are you talking about actual scheduled calls? There's 2 different sales systems for that. In terms of actual scheduled calls, you're more so looking at around $50. Let me break that down. That's actually a great question. And then I'll go back into what I was talking about here. But he popped up a nice question. Let me just take care. Sit over here. I got you credit pair and funding lead cost over here. Let me just pull up my drive over here. We have all the financial data on behind this, and I want to break this down for you, bros. I got you. So we're mostly talking about funding here. This is really how you're going to tack on realistically another 80 grand onto your funding business. Okay. The average cost to acquire a funding client should be around $1,000, with the understanding that the average funding client is going to bring you around a minimum at least 5 grand. Let's say you get the guy funded at least 50 grand. In terms of lead cost, I don't really have lead cost here, but I have cost per call. I'm not really shooting for leads on terms of funding. Credit Pair, I'm shooting for leads. Credit Pair, I'm shooting for leads is a whole different sales system. And let me explain why. Credit Pair, you're dealing with individual consumers which have time to talk to you on Messenger, IG DMs, Messenger, and text back with you. Funding, you're dealing with business owners. Business owners don't really have time to go through the DMs. Like if you're gonna go right now, look at your messages right now. Let me see. Can I see that? You see, look, if you guys can kind of see over there, 715. Oh, let me do Command F4 over here. Let me take a screenshot of this. Guys, look how many messages I have on here. I don't want to pull up my messages, but look, 715 messages, guys. And that's really just from the last time I really took a look at it. What I'm trying to say is that an average business owner doesn't really have time to go through their IGDMs, the messages. In order to deal with business owners in terms of funding, you got to get on their calendar. A lead, I haven't had the most success with leads. I mean, there's complicated ways of really handling that, but I don't really want to get into that. If you want to get into that, hop on a call with me. What I'm trying to say is that for funding, you want to book out your fucking funding calendar with people that are actually qualified and willing to pay you money. So what that means is that this is more so what you should be aiming for in terms of that. And what that means is that you should be aiming for at least a qualified call. Blade, what do you mean by a qualified call? More than a 10K credit card limit, at least a 680, 700 credit score, 10K credit card limit, high credit, and no more than one or two negative derogatories on your account. I'm like looking at three different cameras here. Excuse me, guys. That's what I call a qualified lead. That's what I want more of. I want my calendar absolutely book solid with those specific three qualifications. And that is what you should be aiming for each one of these funding calls. A qualified lead coming in at around $50 for it actually be worth it for you. The average show up rates by building out the system with us is around 70%. The average bad fit no offer, as in, hey, this person might lie in a survey, is around 40% over here. 40% of those are going to be kind of bad or may just not even show up. With that being said, around 10% you'll be closing. So every month you should have around 210 opportunities, closing at around 10%. You're bringing an extra 21 deals over here, 5 times 21. Boom, you're making some serious dough over here. Minus expenses, you're out with that. You're left with around $80,000. Now that gives you a 3x ROAS. Obviously, let's say that the funding show rate increases to 75%. Let's say we're absolutely crushing it. Let's say that, matter of fact, let's say we bring this up to 80%. Blade, how we can even bring this up to 80%? We just have another person, as soon as they schedule, calls them up and double confirms that appointment to make sure they actually show up, etc. Boom, immediately that pops up to a 3.8. But I'm not trying to be not realistic here. Our average funding show rate is around 70%. Bad fit, no offer. Yeah, that can change. This can change. This can absolutely go down. Like, let's say you were to add more hammer strategy, more famous videos over here. If you add more of that famous hammer strategy, what I mean by that is the hammer strategy, if you guys don't know, is in between to the time when you actually click on an ad, between the time they actually show up. You have a whole bunch of these videos over here to rotate the Pearson in a very, very condensed period of time. Overall, that 72 hours from when they click on the ad to the time when they actually show up shows out a whole bunch of videos of yours, building that trust, building that value. And so when they hop on a call with you, they're like, yo, Blade, you got to be famous. I saw so much of your content. That will considerably help with your bad fit no offer, making that closing rate a lot easier. Bring down that bad fit no offer and even bring up that closing rate to high, maybe 20%. And as you can see over here, if you just by changing around a couple of numbers, let's say we brought that back to the 40. Whoops, brought down the, I just screwed something completely up. 40%, my bad. There you go. Boom. Bring that back to where it is realistically. The closing rate increases because of the hammer. I call it the famous strategy. I'm just saying hammer because Jeremy Haynes invented it, not me. I got to be completely honest. But I call it famous strategy. This is exactly what it does. But if you implement more famous strategy, that closing rate will go up. And when the closing rate goes up, that just means that your ROAS goes up as well too. But to be realistic, that is more so what you're looking at, especially when you first start. So, bro, I hope that answers your question. Again, I'm not shooting for leads in terms of the funding sales system. I'm more so shooting for actual scheduled, pre-qualified, and confirmed calls at around $50 per call, if that makes sense to you. Cool. Again, it's just two different sales systems. I mean, we're just shooting for two different financial modeling, two different KPIs. When you're putting out ads, pretty much what you're doing, bro, is you're putting out ads and you're bidding so that you can help acquire, you can have this asset out here. All right. You make this video, you put this video out there. It's a killer video over here. And you use this video to bid to acquire new clients within a certain range. Let's say that every single time let's say you put this ad out here, and every single time you spend $1,000, you get a funding client worth $5,000. That's your cap, cost per acquisition, cost per close. Every $1,000 you spend, you're getting another funding client. Can you pause your mic over here? I'm gonna pause it for you. All right, if you need to talk, just comment. All right, what I'm trying to say is that you're literally putting out a digital asset out there to help you acquire clients within a certain budget. And whenever that budget kind of skews and goes out of range, because you have this financial modeling over here, you have this KPIs, you're able to designate exactly in that sales system where things are getting skewed and where the problem arises and what you need to fix. Okay. So I hope that helps. But then again, I'm not going to recommend ads to anybody that doesn't have content, that doesn't have a solid brand. But it's okay because you're on a call with me right now and I'm helping you out with that. You can quite literally build out a brand really, really quick within under a week. When I launch ads, they got to have a couple of pieces in play. Let me go back to my IG. A couple pieces in play that they need is you got to have more than 5,000 followers. You got to be at least meta verified. You got to have at least 6 to 9 posts. The reason being is because people really do judge a book by its cover. Now check this out, guys. Your boy got your back because in our Discord over here, let me pop out over into our Discord. Thank you guys for watching on the Discord. By the way, guys, if you're watching on the Discord and you don't have access to watch the screen share here, we're going over a lot of alpha on here. So make sure you have that link. Guys, I threw on the announcements. Jonas, I see you over there, bro. So hop on here. I got you. But what I'm trying to say, not to get too off topic here, is check this out. Because I got you. If you're trying to launch ads really, really quick, you try to build a brand really, really quick, I mean, yeah, we can help you in terms of content distribution. In our network over here, we have some incredible video editors with same-day turnarounds that are very, very affordable. They can help you out with the editing. In terms of the actual copying and the scripts, we have AI marketing brains that have really 6 years, 7 years. I've been saying 7 years for the past 2 years. My company's been open way longer than that, to be honest. What I'm trying to say is all that sales conversations are transcribed and put into a marketing brain to give you copy that actually resonates to those who are actually going to be willing to buy. So all that copy, all the scripts are handled for you. The only thing that you might be missing is a little boost to your social media. So how you're going to want to handle that is, look at this, guys. I have 5,000 followers. Yeah, I probably want to boost this up a little bit more, to be honest. I would more so would be more comfortable with launching ads, even though I am already spending like $150 a day on ads. I'd be more comfortable when I have at least 10,000 followers. It just looks better. Who would you rather buy from? Somebody that has under 1,000 followers or somebody that's meta verified and has more than 10,000 followers? Kind of just makes sense. So if you want a quick social boost, guys, go over here to Social Booster app, go to Instagram over here and buy up some fucking followers. I'm not even kidding, guys. Yes, in terms of your engagement rate, it will dilute a little bit, but if you're posting content consistently, that dilution won't even matter because you're going to bring that shit right back up. You just need to make sure that you have more followers so that people can trust you. Let me give you an example here, guys. Funding money is so fucking good. I love funding money. It's insane. What I'm trying to say though, somebody's going to trust you with a $10,000 contract or getting funded 100K, 6 figures, getting them funding, fuck it. Let's say more than that. We just had, I don't know if he's in here, right? AVL funding. What's his name? Oh, let me go back to his name. I don't want to pop up too much over here. What is his name? Arthur. Arthur had an incredible deal, guys. He specifically works in the funding niche specifically for chiropractors, and healthcare facilities. But because this shit was so specific, we built out of stuff. Like his first fucking deal was an $800,000 franchising deal, guys. That's some big money we're talking about. What I'm trying to say is that if people don't trust you with an $800,000 fucking deal, you better make sure that your brand is set up to par. Because where am I going to take this franchising deal to? Somebody that barely takes their Instagram serious, or somebody that takes their Instagram like it's their fucking job and they're earning an actual living off of there? It kind of just makes sense, Okay, company brand versus personal brand. Most people, it doesn't really matter as much. I see you get faster results off of a personal brand because if you're able to put a face to it, people like working with faces. Human nature says that people are social creatures. They would rather talk to a person than a major conglomerate, corporation, etc. It's a lot easier to trust one person with the business, know that, hey, I'm going to that one person, than a corporation where I gotta climb the corporate ladder, do a support ticket just to kind of get resolutions and answers. But don't get me wrong, you can absolutely build it out corporate like structure like that, where it's an actual company business in terms of the Instagram or the face of the company is an actual company. But again, you just really got to build up that social media, that content. You got to have enough followers. If you get verified, that's an instant social boost right there and then. I'm just saying personal works a little better because based upon my experience and just running thousands of dollars every single day in terms of ads, typically you get a faster turnaround times if it's more a personal brand because people just trust you a lot easier, a little bit quicker. Hope that answers your question, brother. Cool. Content, guys. Let's go back to over here. So, like I was saying, guys, you can buy followers over here, guys. You can just build out content really easily. Guys, let me go over a couple of people over here that are absolutely crushing in terms of content distribution. Mikkel over here, guys. This is one of my first mentees I've ever consulted, guys. Excellent dude, really, really cool guy, down to earth, and also very, very funny as well, too. I like this guy. What I'm trying to say is that look at the couple of pieces of content over here, and I want to show them off because this guy absolutely fucking crushes content, guys. But look, and what I'm trying to say is that your content doesn't need to be that complicated. This Mikhail over here is just doing his basic life stuff. He's taking his kids out. He's going over here, hanging out with his wife on a beautiful lake over here. I think he just bought a farm and he talks about his farm every now and then. He's got another crib over here in Bali he's always chilling at. He's taking his kids on vacation. He likes cars. I feel like every credit card company has a Corvette C8. I don't know why everybody does, but it's just how it is. Hanging out with his wife, doing his thing, talking about some politics, beach stuff. What I'm trying to say is that his average video, guys, is so fucking simple. He just talks about his average life and edits some content on here. In terms of this content, guys, what you need to do for that content is just ChatGPT, literally. Whenever I put out a piece of content over here, I have this thoroughly built out marketing brain. Like I said, has hundreds and thousands of sales call data plugged into here to give you copy that actually resonates. So if you're doing a post over here, just take that post, throw it into the marketing brain, and it'll give you a highly, highly targeted, that's going to target motivated and wealthy individuals. So it's actually going to go out to people that resonate with your offer. Let me explain why this converts so well and why this will help you. It's because, like, let's say you were to put out a post, and it's just let me see if I can find a random credit card business right now, and compare and compare. Let me pull out this, Mikhail, put them on another page over here, and now let me just try to find a random credit pair business over here. Let me search up credit pair, and let me find a graphic or something. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's compare really quick. Which one do you think is going to get more views? This post over here or this post with all this copy here? I feel like it just kind of makes sense. I don't think I need to talk about this anymore. What I'm trying to say is that when you actually take the time to build out your videos and your content and treat it as if it's an asset that's going to be out there forever and consistently bring you in more clients, bro, that's a fucking asset. That's going to make you cash flowing. What I'm trying to say is that every single post that you put out there, treat it as a digital asset that's going to bring you in more clients. Because if you do it like that and don't just show this, score lips in 3 months, cool. But anybody's searching that shit up. Anybody's literally searching that up. This is gonna resonate to like the lowest people, the people that are gonna get you like it's got black on top of here, black on the bottom here. It's going to take you out to, Facebook optimizes for the lowest cost per lead. Facebook optimizes to get you results at the cheapest price. If you put out a post just like this, it's gonna get you views, maybe a couple of likes, but it's not really gonna send it out to motivated people. It's not really gonna send it out to people that are actually gonna resonate with that ad. If you compare that to something like this, where it has a whole fuck ton of copy over here with specific keywords that are targeting the right people, that'll go out to the actual people that are gonna buy your shit. So your posts don't even have to be that complicated. You just got to be consistent and you need to make sure that you're actually using copy and content that's going to resonate with the audience, the people that you're trying to attract. So action steps from here is quite really take that on a notepad right here. Write down who you want to attract. What do they wear? How do they dress? Do they have two cars? Do they have one car? Do they have a double car garage? Are they working with an HOA, private community, gated community? Because when you use those specific characteristics, when you're describing the type of person that you're trying to attract in terms of this content, these ads, that significantly, and I'm talking significantly, is going to increase the quality. When I'm running ads for people, I find that people mainly complain about two major things. Hey, I'm dealing with a whole bunch of fucking cheap people, or hey, I'm dealing with a whole bunch of people that might have the money, but they don't want to start today. They're not motivated enough. So how do you counteract that? How do you start tracking? And this is going along with literally every ad platform out there and every social media platform out there, because they all run based upon the same exact AIs. Sam Altman, Bankman, whatever his name is, that invented ChatGPT, literally sold ChatGPT and the AI platform to all these social media platforms. So they run off of the same exact premise, as uh, if you want to attract, I mean, it's a business, so I want to keep the users on Instagram as long as possible. But in order for to keep people on there, you got to actually have posts that resonate with the audience. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're trying to attract higher quality people, you need to do two things: increase the motivation, increase the financial capability. Blade, how do you increase that? Motivation, simple, guys, simple. For funding, it's just like, yo, do you need is your inventory or your shelves running low and you need to make sure that you buy more inventory? Bro, it's motivating. Hey, do you have payroll coming up in 2 weeks and you're just running low in funds? Bro, that's so motivating. That's gonna attract people that literally need money today so that they can restock the shelves, that need money today so that they can pay payroll. That, or maybe, hey, are you a contractor that has a big government job, but you can't afford the high price tag of new equipment? People that recently got contracted but can't afford the equipment, like a bulldozer, because those are six-figure bulldozers. Boom, attract those people. They already got the government job, but maybe it's the credit or the actual capital that they have is not letting them get to that new equipment so they actually fulfill that government job. That's the most motivated person you will ever deal with. I can almost guarantee that shit. That's motivation right there. Using key characteristics to attract more motivated people in terms of your copy, your content, and your ads. Because like I said, the AI will literally scan your asset, that digital asset, and sends it out to those who actually resonate with it. That's motivation. Next thing is financial capability. Yeah, you can just be like, yo, attention people making more than six figures a year. But that's, I consider that kind of as novice. And I feel like that might be a little bit oversaturated. Because if you just know about the AI, you're probably doing that already. How you're going to really attract more motivated people is quite literally just saying, hey, six-figure earners, hey, doctors, hey, people that live in a gated community, hey, people that have a private HOA, hey, people that want to live in a gated community, want to go to a private school, whatever it might be, use those characteristics in your copy to attract those specific people. Excuse me, guys. My girl over here is just having a bath and she's being so loud with her music. I don't want to interrupt anything over here. I just shot her a text over here to quiet down a little bit, but cool, we're good now. All right, let's get back over here. No sidetracking over here. So what I said, guys, is to attract more quality people, target motivated and financial capable people. Financial capable people just use those specific characteristics. Like I said, really draw your person over here. What are they rocking? Do they got an Audi? Do they need a two-car garage? What do they have? And use that in your copy. Better fact, just tell AI to use that in your freaking copy. All right, simple, guys. All right, that's how you attract highly qualified people. And then in terms of your actual ads that you're making too, like let me go over here, guys. Let me show you a couple of ads that are converting for us, just to kind of give you guys a couple of shortcuts over here. So for those of you watching, you know exactly what to do. Check this out, guys. Over here, look at this. We've been using this one for Gary for so long. He's just been producing. Here, Gary over here is just flexing in front of a Cybertruck. Boom. Guys, Cybertruck is a six-figure car. Corvette CA is another six-figure car. Guys, that immediately attracts the right type of people over there just because we're using specific images and videos that attract those type of people. Let me show you another example over here. My boy over here who just launched his ads, crushing it right now. Look at this. Look at him flexing in front of his Aventador and Rolls Royce. By the way, guys, you can't rent an Aventador. I mean, you might, but I don't know how to rent an Aventador. I've heard Porsches. Aventador is a real fucking car. That's a real deal car. And he got his Rolls Royce. I think that's the Wraith in the background over here. Guys, who do you think this is going to attract? Who will this picture attract? This is going to attract money. This type of picture here will attract money because you're dealing with a two 500,000, $500,000 cars. It's probably more than that, to be honest. So excuse me for getting that wrong. It probably is more like 750,000, both of those fucking cars over there. Again, you can't really rent out those cars. What I'm trying to say is that, guys, if you need to fucking Airbnb a house, fucking do it. If you need to tour out a nice Aventador, or I can't do that, a Huracan, C8, Corvette Stingray, whatever, fucking do that because your ads will literally convert better. And it's fun to do that as well too. If you're anything like me. What I'm trying to say, guys, is make sure when you're filming these ads, when you're doing this content, always have in mind the person that you are trying to attract. Okay, guys, if that makes sense, let's go next. I want to transition from here now into a couple of automations to make your content distribution a whole lot better so you can actually start making money. Because now we understand the traffic portion. Great, right? We understand the traffic. We understand how to attract qualified people over to our business. Great. Now, first of all, how are you going to set up a way so that you're consistently doing content? Because if you're anything like me, guys, you're fucking busy. All right. I am so fucking busy. It's absolutely insane. I showed you my messages, guys, 740, whatever, unrun messages. If you're anything like me, you're probably the same. So what that means is that we really, as a business owner, we need to prioritize our time to the things that are actually making us the most amount of money, sales and like content, guys. So you got to implement systems, simple systems, so that you can quite literally I'm using my wallet over here. Record these videos really, really quick over here, send it out to an editor and have them do all your content for all your social media platforms. And what better way to do that than go high level, guys? I absolutely fucking love go high level. Yes, guys, sometimes go high level does like lag a little bit, but it's the cost of working with one of the best CRM platforms out there. But nonetheless, since I can do sidetrack again, check this out, guys. Planner. This is your social media planner. You can quite literally hook this up to unlimited social media accounts. As you can see, I got to reconnect my Google My Business and my YouTube channel over here, which I will do, no worries. But what you can do, guys, is you can make simple content like the one that we are just talking about, where he's just hanging out with his wife. You could, use one of our affordable VAs on a membership. Go to theprojectalpha.com if you want to just join the membership and be inclusive on the network. Again, theprojectalpha.com. Join the network. We'll give you a couple of affordable VAs and we'll make sure you understand how to use this system. What I'm trying to say is you take this content, you either spend one day, record your entire month worth, maybe even 3 hours, do a couple of podcasts, you'll get highlight clips, do a couple of cinematics like this, or do a couple of lives, get highlights, or make actual value-based videos that he's talking into the camera, maybe like this one over here, he's talking into the camera right there, and send it out to the video editor, and you will have your entire month fucking done, guys. All you gotta do is just go into here and approve the videos. Like, look at this. This was a podcast I did with one of my buddies over here, and he took out a whole bunch of highlight clips over here. He did the copy because, again, we got the marketing brain over here. Boom, does all the copy for you, and it actually resonates to the people that you're trying to attract. And all I really got to do is just go into here and press approve or edit or comment as I need be. Boom. It's not any easier than that. That is your content handle for you. And if those that are watching that are already in the network and don't have access yet to a VA, to a content distribution team, just message me, guys. I want to hook you up because the more money I make you, the more I'm getting paid. All right? All right, cool. Content distribution is simple, guys. I'll go over the ad manager in a few, but let's talk a little bit more about content and a couple of key automations. One of my favorite automations is the keyword tag automation. I don't even know what to call this shit, but it's a keyword comment responder, whatever. All right, guys, probably the most simplest automation that you guys can probably use is this automation. I'm gonna teach you how to set it up literally within 3 seconds because you guys need this shit. You guys absolutely need this. DM automation. We're gonna do comment capital. As I take a little sip over here. You guys can literally set this up right now as I'm going through it. It's that quick. Look, it's 3 steps on here. Trigger. We're going to use Facebook and Instagram. It's just comments on a post here. All right. You're going to select your page. Boom, boom, boom. Select your post. You don't even have to do that. You really just need to select the page, which I can't select right now because I don't have anything hooked to this, and the phrase. The phrase here for this example is going to be capital. And the goal of this, and press enter. And the goal of this is that whenever I put out a post, and I'm doing a post like this, Yo, what's up, guys? Comment the word capital down below, and I'm gonna send you over the free funding guide. Comment the word capital down below, and I'm gonna send you over my calendar so that we can lock in and I can get you funded. Yo, comment the word down below, and I'm gonna sell you this ebook, this link over here, guys. $67 digital product. Boom, buy it right now. So I'm trying to say is that you can make oops, let me go back here. There you go. You can make content like that and have a call to action very, very frictionless, because we're all pretty lazy. So you want to make it as simple as people to buy with you as possible. And just be like, yo, comment the word capital, comment the word schedule, comment the word whatever, and set up this DM automation so that when they comment that word, it automatically first it responds to the comment, because if you use the same response every single time, Facebook might temporarily like pause you, so you don't want to do that. So just have like at least 5 to 10 of them just randomly, and it's gonna cycle through them. So whenever somebody comments the word capital, it'll cycle through. Hey, I got you. Shout your DMs, blah 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 blah, blah etc. Simple. And you can even set it to like comments. Oh, I don't know why that's not already selected on. Boom. Make it like the comment as well too. And then what it's gonna do is it's gonna personally DM them and change out the copy however you want it to be. This is just a custom field as it just say their name. Hey, their name. Hey, Sam, thanks for the comment. We're excited to help you get the working capital you need to get started. Just click the link down below. Boom. This is a link to your funnel, to your calendar, to your digital product, whatever it might be. And then, of course, you run it through Instagram and through Facebook, because you can sync your Instagram with your Facebook. So whenever you post to your Instagram, it goes to your Facebook. Or whenever you post to your Facebook, it goes to your Instagram. Simple, guys. Make sure you have that sync, because that's just money that you might be missing out to if you're not doing it to both. Guys, there's no easier way of handling this DM keyword responder. Guys, that's a fantastic tool that will literally make you more money probably today. Okay, that will pack out your sales calendar. Seriously. Cool. A little DM automation over there, a couple automations. The rest of the automations, guys, if you need some more automations, all you're going to do is go to creditrepairmarketing.com and your boy has got your back. All right. If you just want to get in the membership, of course, theprojectalpha.com. Let's continue though. Guys, because I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about what the AI ad manager, guys, that just recently released and go high level. Guys, this shit's incredible. Not everybody has this. What I've been hearing is that this is only really going up. This is kind of still like a little beta over here, but it still works and still makes money, guys. What I'm trying to say is that everybody might not have it, so you don't already have it, just lock in with me and I got your back. Guys, very, very simple SOP setup over here. We're not using Google account, we're using Meta. I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna scroll down. Let me share my screen on live over here. Scroll myself down, I'm gonna go look up the Project Alpha, because that's the ad account I'm actually using right now. Boom. Go over here, the ad poppy, because that's the actual Facebook page that I'm using right now to run ads. Let that connect over here, and you're gonna press get started once that loads up. Dun dun dun, drum roll please. Cool. And guys, this is nothing complicated here. What the AI ad manager really does is allows you to instantly just post an ad, okay? Where the most important parts of the ad that you need to focus on is the actual content, is the actual problem that you're trying to solve. You can spend thousands and thousands every single day on ads and not make anything from it. That has its trade-offs. It's good and it's also bad, because it's bad because you can't be lazy when you're making an ad. You got to make an actual good ad. Previously, prior to iOS 14, prior to ChatGPT and all that shit, you quite literally had to go, you got a campaign level, ads to level, and ads. The ads to level was all the detailed targeting was done, interest-based targeting looked like audience is done. Prior to iOS 14, prior to ChatGPT, the actual targeting in the ad was done in that ad set level. So to be able to take your ad and put it in front of motivated and financially capable people, all the targeting was done under interest-based targeting under that ad set level. But now that ChatGPT came out, AI came out, like I said, it literally scans that ad. You can quite literally keep that level blank. It scans the ad and it'll send it out to those that it actually resonate with. Now, this has its trade-offs, because what this means is that, again, you got to make good ads. But what this also really means, and why I'm a geek for ads now, is because you can quite literally now compete with people with unlimited budgets. Let me repeat this, because I don't think people fully grasp the opportunity here. You can compete with Chase. You can compete with American Express. You can compete with banking corporations, major banking corporations that have virtually unlimited budgets. Blade, how do I compete with people that have unlimited budgets? You make a better ad than them. You make a more specific ad in them. You make a more specific ad in them that's actually targeting motivated and financially capable people. People like Chase, they have unlimited budgets. So they just put out an ad out there, spend $1 million a day, and not really give a fuck if it works or not. Because they have unlimited budgets. They're targeting everybody. You don't need to target everybody. You can specifically target contractors that recently got a government job that needs to fix their credit to be able to unlock a business loan. You can specifically target, for example, like Arthur, you can specifically target chiropractors that's looking to franchise and open up multiple different practices. You can specifically target whoever the fuck you want to target to be able to generate a fuck ton of money. Guys, Zay, are you in here, bro? You might not be in here. Ninja, not in here. It's okay. What I'm trying to say is that we're working with a couple of credit outsourcing companies, and because we're targeting very, very specific people, their first couple of deals are literally making them like 10, 30, $40,000 a month off of their first deals. Drop my honey stick over here, guys. Their first deals that are coming in are making them $40,000 a month. But that's only because we're actually targeting the right people. So as you can see over here, guys, Chase, they target everybody. Blank targeting. Hey, anybody want a Chase account? Anybody want a loan? Just come to us. I'm spending millions of dollars a day. Just come to us. Everybody, come to us. But what you can be like, yo, I want specific people that are already doing $1 million months that need to fix their credit or get another loan to expand into something else, to X, to open another jewelry store, to open another, who knows, another, even a strip club, whatever. You can be very specific in the type of people that you're targeting, and that unlocks a world of opportunities because you can be specific in the type of people that you're targeting up to the point where you only want to target people that are already making $1 million a month. And the AI is so fucking insane that it will target those people as long as you make a good ad that actually resonates with those people. So what that really means is that when you're filming content, again, keep that end goal in mind. Keep in mind the type of person that you want to attract, and you will make a fuck ton of money in your ads. You will be printing. All right. But let me go back over here because, guys, again, making using this AI ad manager, guys, is not that difficult. You know, I just set it up. How I'm going to create the campaign? We're going to use Meta over here. We're going to start from scratch, use templates. I don't like templates again. If you guys are already in the membership, you should have access to our ad Rolodex. Yeah, you can use website traffic. It depends. You know, if you're running just a credit per ad over here, you're dealing with individual consumers. I would want to use more so lead gen, messenger type of ads. If you're dealing with funding, you're dealing with business owners where the time is very valuable. You're gonna want to get a calendar appointment with those people. So what would your objective be? Let's say that we're running a credit per ad dealing with consumers. I'm gonna use lead gen over here. I'm gonna create a quick form. I already have a nice form over here. Guys, the secrets to creating forms over here. First, you want to make sure, here we go over to here, boom, select button. It's learn more, usually has the most least amount of friction or send message. This Facebook form is let me create a form over here so you kind of see my form building process. All right, I'm going to create it on here first, then I'm going to show the live. That's what I'm going to do. All right, test, form type. We're going to do more volume, higher intent, just allows us to see a screen twice and double confirm. I don't see you really making too much of a difference. Quick greeting, tell them what you're doing. So tell them the problem that you're solving. Fix your credit to get your construction gov job. Okay, I don't know. Keep it very specific though. Again, you can reiterate the problem over here under this paragraph. I like to use bullet points, 100% money back guarantee. 100K min funding amount. I don't know. Only can work with 5 businesses. You know, the last strategy session that we recorded, I was talking about a couple of key points that you should do in terms of all your content and how you should handle that. What we were talking about, let me switch back over to here real quick. Guys, we were talking about the upgrades. Here it is. Marketing copy. All your marketing copy should be pain point, solution, call to action. Very, very simple. Simple. But then the upgrades on top of that is going to be like scarcity and proof. So how to add scarcity and proof? Over 8 million funding. 8 is like my favorite number, so I use that. All right. Here's scarcity over here, guys. For those that are on the live over here, we just show what I did. Again, just make it look a little bit better over here. Add an image on here. It just kind of makes sense. This is the problem that you're specifically handling. So when people hit the ad, they know, hey, I'm going to the right place. Over your 100% money back guarantee, just to overcome the friction, any rejections, any FAQs, or somebody that might not want to rock with you. Like, hey, can I trust these people? Well, yeah, you can. You got a 100% money back guarantee. Proof over here showing off a little bit. Over 8 million funded. This is an upgrade to here. Scarcity over here. Scarcity tactic over here is a great marketing tactic to make people make a move now. We can only work with 5 businesses this month, etc. Simple. Questions over here. Let me write this out really quick. So what I like to do is I like to kind of keep this thing very, very simple. As always, guys, that's how I am. All right, we're going to keep this simple over here. So in terms of credit pair, what most you want to find out is budget. And you're gonna want, oops, do that. You want any questions? Boom, boom, boom. Name, email, phone number. You want the budget under, oops, 500. 1,000, 1,000. And then 1,500 plus. Simple, guys. The first question might want to be like, to answer what is hurting? I like to go into budget right away. So I mostly want to kind of get a little bit of pain point from them first. Can I move this up? I might not be able to move it up. That's all right. Let me just leave this one over here, add it again. All right, one, whoops. Look for answer. Let me fix this real quick. Give me a second. Give me a second. I just want to show you guys what this looked like. Budget. Shit's so simple. Under 500, 1,000, 1.5, 1,500 plus. Simple, guys. Literally, that's simple. That's an amazing ad over here, guys. All right. Name, email, phone number, because we need that to be able to contact with them. What's hurting your credit? Boom, they automatically respond, hey, collections, bankruptcy, etc. So now you're able to know the price of the ticket. If it's a bankruptcy, it's a little bit more difficult, it might be $1,500 plus. So that lines up 1,500 bankruptcy, $1,500 job. Over here, $1,500. If they're actually a $1,500 budget, then prioritize that lead. Makes sense, right? Simple. And then when you're doing your basic hustling and stuff, just prioritize the people that look like you can actually close. So I would prioritize $1,000, $1,500 people first. And then if you want to just really hustle it out, get the $500, maybe have a lower end product and sell those people on those things. This is simple over here, guys. Make sure you have custom fields on here. Look how hurting your credit. Tell me about your credit. Simple. Budget, so you know it comes in. Do you have a lease, whatever, etc. Add your privacy policy over here. You can go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, make me a privacy policy, put it into there. And then message for leads. This is the most important, well, not the most important thing, but I love doing this part. This is really important for me, at least. The last part over here for, oops, I didn't mean to do that. My handsome face back rocking here. All right, last thing over here on the last page, the end screen, what I always do here is you're almost there, so that they know there's one more step that they need to do. Last step is to schedule your credit analysis. I always do schedule now, because then people are like, schedule, well, maybe I can schedule later. Fuck that. Schedule now. Tell them when to schedule, which is now. And then your link for your calendar. The project, if you want to schedule with me, is going to be go to creditpairmarketing.com/schedule. All right, cool. Guys, it's that simple. Now you're cash flowing. All right, cool. So what's going to end up happening here, guys, is you're going to post this ad over here and you get a whole bunch of scheduled calls. And all you're really going to do is hustle it out, guys. If you have a bunch of calls already, then just hustle out the ones that are higher budgets. But if you don't have that many calls, take all the fucking calls. If it's under 500, fuck it. Sell them on some sort of low ticket thing or some sort of after payment solution. Hustle it out. But once you get to the point where your calendar is absolutely jam-packed, just prioritize the appointments, the consultations that make the most sense with the higher budgets. It kind of just makes sense. But congratulations, guys. That's how you launch your first fucking ad, all right? Upload a media over here. Upload the video. Let's go over here. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Press next. You probably want to, make sure it's just United States. Daily budget. For credit pair, I wouldn't go less than $20 a day. For funding, I would not go less than $50 a day. with the understanding that the average cost per lead in terms of credit repair is around $5. The average cost for scheduled call for funding is around $50. So going back to this financial modeling thing over here, your entire job is to make sure that you're bringing in leads for under $5. Okay. Well, for funding, you want to make sure you bring in funding calls at $50. So when you budgeting this out over here in terms of this portion over here, if you're running funding, I would not go less than $50 a day. Because if you're going less than $50 a day, that means you're getting less than one call a day. I feel like that's kind of stupid. I would more so hustle on content referrals and to the point where you're able to do $50 a day, then run the ads. In terms of credit repair, it's a little bit more low ticket. If you can't do $20 a day, again, hustle it out before you can do $20 a day. There's always people on terms of your content that you can probably reach out to make a couple of deals happen. With that being said, over here, I recommend $20 a day because the average cost per lead in credit is going to be $5. Understanding a 10% closing rate, $20 a day, 4 leads a day. Let's say in 2 days you have 8 leads, and in 3 days you have 12. You're closing one deal every 3 days, and then you're going to increase the budget. I don't think it makes any sense to go less than $20 a day because then maybe you're only doing 1 or 2 leads a day, and I'm not too crazy about that. You want to be a little bit more invested into it, is what I'm trying to say. Lifetime budgets, yeah, you can do lifetime budgets. I wouldn't overcomplicate it though. Keep it on daily, guys. It's fucking simple. And then you can, like I said, guys, you can quite literally just keep the detailed targeting like blank, guys. What I usually do though is I go here, I look up if it's credit per ad, I'm just looking on credit. Just to help if it's especially if it's a new account, guys and gals, whoever's on here. If it's a new account, you do want to do at least one detailed targeting because the pixel is so fucking new. If it's not a new account and it has some data on it, data, whatever it's word, then you can leave it blank. In terms of funding, my funding interest targeting is so fucking simple, guys. Because again, the targeting is not done under here, under interest-based targeting. This ad set level over here that everybody thinks that the targeting is done. So if you go over to here, scroll down, over here, this interest-based targeting, that's not where the targeting is done anymore. It's all done in the actual freaking ad. So this really doesn't matter. Again, if it's a new account with not a lot of pixel data, you want to help it give a little bit of a boost really quick, boom. Use the interest-based targeting of like loan. If it's like not a new account, if it's not a new account, in which case you have some data on it, then keep that shit blank. Simple, guys. And the last step over here, as you can see over here, is review and publish, but I'm not going to review and publish it, for obvious reasons over here. Cool. That's what you want to make sure you have set up, guys. And then, of course, just make sure that you keep track of it, and then make sure that your entire job here of running these ads is to ensure that your cost per lead is within your KPIs. You want to make sure that, for credit repair over here, the cost to acquire a client is around $100, meaning that every $100 you spend, you should bring in $1,000. So with that being said, if you start to realize that your lead cost over here is above $5, you got to build a better fucking ad. If you start to realize that the bad fit over here is starting to get higher than 40%, you have a skew in your KPIs. You got to make better ads. If you realize that your close rate is not good enough, you got to become a better closer, or maybe you got to make sure you're getting more motivated people. But what this allows you to do is to exactly pinpoint the problems in your sales system. And guys that are watching on my Instagram live, I am running out of time. I'm going to be on the server a little bit longer on Discord here, mainly for the members. I want to thank you guys for watching. Stay on here, guys, that are on Zoom. I got this last 3 seconds. God bless, guys. Peace. Talk to you guys later on Instagram. All right, let's go back to here, guys. So what I'm saying is that when you're running these ads, it becomes very predictable because you're able to pinpoint exactly what's going on in your ads if you actually are able to understand your numbers. To be honest, guys, I don't know any real deal business that don't know their fucking numbers. It almost seems like a fake business. It almost seems like a scam if they don't know their fucking numbers. How do you expect to grow a business without knowing these numbers? So what I'm trying to say is that when you're running this ad over here, guys, this ad launcher, that's all really that does. Just launch the ads, keep it very, very simple. Yeah, you can look at stats over here. You get an average cost per click, average cost per conversion. That's great and all. But to be able to optimize, you're really down over here. Let me go through my account really quick. Because my account is set up for an agency, meaning that my costs for, let me go to, my call funnel cost is gonna be around 50 bucks. I think I have my KPI sheet over here somewhere. I can show you guys. Charter funnel, sales funnel, MCA, credit call funnel. I might not have it on here, but my stuff is around, it's pretty much like this. It's literally this pretty much the same. You know, my average deal side will be around 5 grand. So what I'm trying to say, my job over here, guys.
Here, guys.
Oops, I'm gonna mute somebody over here. My bro, I'm gonna mute you really quick. If you have any questions, just comment, bro. I got you. All right. What I'm trying to say is that my job as the media buyer is to do one of two things. First thing, obviously, is keep costs down, keep it within the KPIs. That makes sense. But in order to ensure that your deals closed over here are at a good percentage, I want to make sure you have every best chance of closing deals. So I need to keep track of lead quality as well, too, on top of that. So first things first, let's talk about the KPIs. Let's look at my ad over here. Oops. You know, I'm shooting for $50 per scheduled consult. So what that means is that, look at this, guys. This ad over here, boom, that's 117 per call. Fuck that. This one over here is 65. It's kind of without KPIs. You know, that's kind of pushing it a little bit. Credit over here, 47. That's better. This one over here, 181. Fuck that. I'm cutting that one out. Excuse me. 181 per schedule. Fuck that. This is a test one over here. This is my scale one. $26 per schedule. That's awesome. I got a couple winners over here that are absolutely printing me fucking money, guys. I love ads. Such a geek. This is the new one that I'm testing out for funding guys over here. It's a pretty simple ad. I fucking love this one. I'm not going to show you this one out because it's a little bit of a secret that I got going on over here that I'm testing out. But pretty much what I'm doing, guys, I'm waiting for this to come in. Really, what I'm trying to do is I'm waiting for this to go 3x of my KPI. So I'm looking to hit a $50 cost per call. If this amount spent goes about to 150 and I don't see my cost per result, my scheduled call at 50 bucks, at least 2 or 3 calls at 50 bucks over here, I'm calling that shit out and I'm testing out something different. Because again, what we're doing here when we're media buying is we're just bidding to put out a digital asset to be within KPIs so that you can actually be cash flowing at a good ROAS, return on ad spend. So that's kind of a basic rundown on how to really optimize your ads. Now let's go do a quick basic rundown on how to really ensure that you have high lead quality. Guys, because if you're bringing in leads and all that shit over here, but they're not closing, you got to fix your lead quality. But what's great about us over here is that, you know, because we're able to track lead quality, you know, some clients it's difficult to get feedback on their leads. Nonetheless, that's okay though. But because we are able to track funding financial KPIs, this is long. Because we're able to track lead quality, you know, we're able to usually optimize the ad before people complain ultimately. You know, so what that really means is that if we start seeing, you know, our goal over here is to give you as many fives over here, 1 through 5, 5 being the best as possible. And this lead quality is based upon the application questions that they ask for us. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 questions over here. These 5 questions are ranked. That gives us lead quality. My job as the media buyer is to give you as many fives here as possible, whether it be funding or credit over here. With that being said, your job over here as the actual salesperson is to really just good and bad and signed up and whatever else is in white. But what I'm trying to say is that in order to have a successful campaign, the marketing agency needs to be able to communicate with the actual sales team so that if the sales team starts to see a dip in lead quality, you know, that means they're not going to make money. So they need to have a quick way to tell the media buyer that, hey, lead quality dipped. We got to do something in the ads to change that up. Or maybe, hey, lead quality dips. Or maybe, hey, people aren't showing up. Maybe there's a mess with the automation. Maybe the thank you page is fucked up. Maybe there's a glitch. Maybe go high level is fucking up. Maybe even the sales guy might suck. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that every point of this entire sales system will be completely managed based upon these KPIs over here that we were just talking about before. So let's say, hey, we see a dip in terms of sales. You know, we're going to look into here. All right, lead quality, is lead quality high? Lead quality hasn't changed. Then great. Maybe the sales team, we need to kind of give them what I call a pain point checklist. So just the other week, I had this. I call it kind of an opportunity because it's good for us to all to learn from over here. In which case, I was having on with a client over here that had really, really good lead quality. Now, this dude was doing like 4 or 5s every single time, a couple 3 stragglers in there, but everything looked like he should be printing, but he wasn't. His closing rate was less than like a 5%. I was like, yo, what's going on over here? So I listened to a couple of his calls, and they just weren't sounding that good. And he was pushing the price before they even asked. Typically when I say when you hop in these calls, you should not bring up price until they actually ask you. Don't bring up price until they actually, hey, what's the next step? How much is this going to cost me? Because when they ask for the next step or the price, they're a little bit more motivated and ready to start moving forward. So what we did together with him is what we just did is we built together a what I call a pain point checklist. Let me see if I have it here. Boom, simple. Typically, what I see, guys, is that if people are not asking you, uh, kind of towards the end of the call, hey, what's the next steps? Hey, what's the price? Or they're just not buying from you, it's usually because they don't value it enough. If somebody values it enough, they're gonna figure out how to find the money. Alex Ramosi said this best. If I have, let me go back to that Aventador. Aventador is a $500,000 fucking car. If I'm like, yo, here's the keys to a $500,000 car, guys. All you're gonna have to give me is 10 grand. Even if you don't have 10 grand in your bank, you're gonna figure out how to get that 10 grand. You will figure out how to make that $10,000. You're gonna ask your cousins, your family, you're gonna borrow money, open up a couple of 0% interest credit cards. I know you guys are credit card companies and funding companies out there. You're gonna figure out how to get that 10 grand because you know that rented door is worth so much more money than 10,000 million dollars. So you're gonna figure out how to get that. So what I'm trying to say is that it's almost never a monetary objection. It's always a value-based objection. And how to overcome those value-based objections is really to hone in on those pain points. Guys, whenever I hop on a sales call, and maybe you notice this with me, is whenever I hop on a sales call, guys, I always pop this up. Sales training, pain point checklist. This is my pain point checklist. I practice what I preach, guys. This shit fucking works. So if you start to notice that your sales calls closing, your sales closing rate, whatever, is starting to dip, make sure you have this pain point checklist. So whenever you're taking sales calls, you should really have three things open: go high level, KPI sheet, and pain point checklist. And really what you do in this pain point checklist is bringing up emotional based pain points to push them to ask you, hey, what's the next steps? Because if people aren't asking you, hey, what the next steps are, you shouldn't even bring up prices or the next steps. I would rather even hop off a call just by curiosity can take into place to see my retargeting content and come back to me and actually ask the price. That almost never happens though, because I have this over here. What I'm trying to say is that when you realize, I had a call literally yesterday. I was at the mechanic. Someone fucked up my car. I also do Turo, guys. Someone completely sliced up my fucking seats, bro. So dumb. What I'm trying to say is that I was the mechanic yesterday, and I was trying to close this person on a deal. You might even be watching this right now, so you might even know my move over here. But that's okay, because everyone can learn from this shit. I was literally waiting for the mechanic to get to my car, sitting in my car. I had the AC blast since it's fucking hot here in Florida, and I pulled the pain point checklist. There's like a lot of objections. And then I was talking, all right, great. Are you looking for just leads or a system that actually filters out tire kickers? Do you currently have a sales team to handle your calls yourself? Do you feel like your current lead flow and client acquisition or where they need to be to hit your revenue goals? Kind of reiterating the first couple of questions that I asked you. Hey, what are your goals? What did you like or dislike about their previous marketing agency experiences? Have you ever run ads before? What makes you interested in us specifically? What I'm trying to say is that these pain points over here, if you ask them, it brings up emotional thoughts. And the best way to convert a client is literally based upon emotions. It's kind of what keeps us always buying the next fucking iPhone every single half a year or year whenever they come out. It's because the average person is too afraid of getting behind in technology, and other people are thinking oddly of them because like, yo, why don't you have the newest piece of equipment? So that emotional society norm, whatever those words I'm trying to say, is what brings up emotion and keeps on forcing people to buy new phones, even though it's literally like the same exact thing. What I'm trying to say is that if you start to see your closing rate start to dip, it might just be something as simple, hey, you need a pain point checklist. You just go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT for your fucking pain point checklist. Very, very simple. Boom, look at this. This is what I have. All right. But again, you're not going to know if you need a pain point checklist if you don't know your numbers. So that's why tracking your shit is so, so vital and so, so important, guys. Make sure you fucking track your shit. But cool, cool. Thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you guys. Thanks you guys for hopping on here. I kind of try to provide as much knowledge over here as possible. Mike over here, bro, do you have any questions? Can I provide any more value before I hop off this call, my man? Who else we got here? We got some people in the Discord. We got a couple people over here on the Discord. The live just ended over here. Guys, can I answer any of your questions on the Discord over here? I already answered that one. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Guys, if I can't answer any more questions, guys, I want to thank you guys as always for watching, guys. I saw one of you guys just signed up recently, guys. Congratulations on the membership. Guys, we take care of you. We live on the belief that the more money we make you, quite literally, the more we will get paid. That's how all my pricing works. If you want to get rocking on just the membership, it's only like $25 a week. Go to theprojectalpha.com, theprojectalpha.com, and you can join the membership. In which case, guys, you hop on all these calls over here, theprojectalpha.com. Let me share my screen over here. Boom, boom, boom. Only $25 a week, guys. And we'll make sure we take care of you with all the strategy support and also the live calls. And however we can help you guys, you also will get a Go High Level account. You will get a blank Go High Level account that you can build upon. That's only $25 a week, guys. It can't get any cheaper than that. I do it disjustice if I go cheaper than that. Next thing that we got over here, guys, is creditrepairmarketing.com. So if you want to run ads, if you actually need a set up sales system, like your Go High Level account, actually set up for your credit repair or funding business and fully automated for you, so that all you focus on is actually making more sales and content distribution, those high ticket shit, then guys, go to the creditrepairmarketing.com. We got your back. Both of these sites have ways to schedule with me. But if you want to hop on a call with me, guys, it's on Discord, it's on social media. You can contact me or go to creditrepairmarketing.com/schedule. Guys, everybody in the live, everybody in the Zoom, everybody here in Discord, everybody on YouTube live, all that shit. Thank you guys for watching. If I can provide any more value, just reach out to me, guys. The more money I make you, the more I get paid. So I'm naturally inclined to want to help you guys out. Thank you guys for staying longer. God bless, guys. I'm going to go enjoy my day. Do a little barbecue. Peace, guys.